Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, all we listeners around the world, thank you for tuning in and listening to we again this Sunday, June 23rd, 2024. I'm Lawyer Mohammed Shyllon, so coming to you from the United States. I get me co-host for today, a man who needs no introduction, Mr. Jallo Jamboria, who has his own platform so he's a guest host here today, and we always get a lot for learn from him because he always make tremendous contribution to the discourse or the discussions we would get. So he go introduce himself. I go pass the mic over to him pretty soon. So I just want for remind we regular listeners them about some of the numbers them we wanna go get for call for reach we in case when I get comments. I'm putting a call. So usually, just very quickly. Oh, let me also indicate my apology for us starting an hour late because usually we would have started anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour before this time. This is 4 o'clock. Actually, it's 2 minutes after 4 Eastern time in the United States. And for my co-host, this is way into the night to Norway because my co-host, Mr. Jamburia, they're Norway. So it's making a big sacrifice by staying up. Because by the time this show is over, it will have been rare night time over to them in Norway Day. So we're very grateful that he willing to participate for sharing views in the analysis with we. So, and my apology again for starting an hour late. For those who are from Norway, they expect we to come on the air. Or not be see we. If you're still listening, we appreciate you checking in to see if we come on today, which we are. Then let me just go through the numbers then very quickly, the phone numbers then. We're going to go reach way. If you call from North America, we always include Mexico, Canada, and the United States. The number we for call, we normally can be referred to as toll free. Now 1-866-944-7722. 1-866-944-7722. If you call from the United Kingdom, then get a local number. When it will cost you anything, you can just call. And you go ring here in America. Now we station. We're at +44 2080891455. Again, +44 2080891455. Likewise, if you call from Australia, there is also a local number where you could call when at +61 290984 +61 290984 Now, the worldwide number, where regardless of who side you call from, UK or North America or Australia or where you can call at no charge, also will be the universal number when at the WhatsApp number when at 1-343-997-5828. Again, 1-343-997-5828. Anybody can call from anywhere in the world, Sierra Leone included, at the WhatsApp number. It will cost you nothing. In addition to that, we do have an FM radio station in Freetown where we broadcast also, or we program, which is 91.9 FM. 91.9 FM. And we strongly encourage you for download the VOS television mobile app, where you can get from the Google, Apple, or the Apple Store. The Google Store or the Apple Store or the Apple App Store. You can download and forget the broadcast. In addition to all of that, we're carried on Facebook, we're carried on YouTube, we're carried on Instagram. So please, there are many ways. Do not hesitate to call we if you get any contribution from make, because our program today will be based mostly on what I call conjecture, just reasonable inferences. We'll go say something, then we want people that will get any idea. We try for discourage propaganda, but we just want people and for call and make some intellectual contribution to which in some of the topics that we'll go through. I do have a little comment where I could make with respect to the election of the Bar Association not too long ago in Sierra Leone. Only because I am a lawyer by profession, I'm very much concerned about the quality of lawyering and the quality of ethics and the quality of professional responsibility in my profession. And I see that dwindling very fast in Sierra Leone, and I feel compelled to make a comment. Other than that, I probably will have left it alone. But what good does it do if I belong to a profession that I see going down the drain very quickly and I don't make any comments and I get this platform? So for that reason, I will say something. And then we will go into situations like the tripartite, and then we will talk about the tripartite agreement. We will talk about the developments that we will see to take place, like this, the landing of an American aircraft, a military aircraft, Nalunge, and some of the statements will come from different sources, from people like the Mr. Berwa, when the director of communication at the State House, to the American ambassador as to the purpose of the plane landing in Freetown. We will make we own, we will draw we own conclusion, we will make we own suggestions, we will make we own guesswork, because we will not get facts upon which to base that, as to there is no real public announcement as to what the purpose was other than some suggested answers. So we will talk about that. And we will talk about this plant, this gas plant, electrical gas plant, which is over $400 million, which rivals the MCC compact millennium money with them one give when a grant, as opposed to this gas plant, where a rival the same amount of money, but we're not to grant. So we will talk about that. We'll just try to make some analysis about all of that. And then we will try to make sense out of it. And we just want to encourage the listeners then to be more introspective, more thoughtful. Let us look into the crystal ball and let them begin for taking for granted, for say, we know they analyze. The Western world doesn't tell you anything we believe, then we leaders and others say everything we believe, and God give we all brains, and some of we get some degree of education. We're not to the most educated people, but it's a little bit annoying when you see the educated people and they join for fool the people. So we just want to talk about that in a day. With that said, let me pass on over to my distinguished, very able co-host, Mr. Jamborea, who will introduce himself. And then I will just take back the mic very quickly for talk about the election of the Bar Association, the recent development, and the arrest of a female lawyer who just therefore say something about the president and the silencing of free speech in the country and the danger to that kind of a practice then there. And then we will come back to the other analysis. I will turn it over to Mr. Jamborea. It can start from anywhere. So with that said, Mr. Jamborea, let me turn it to you, sir.
Thank you, sir, Mr. Shyllon. Ramble them unakusha. Afumami na piari. Bondesia, Awana. Today I'm going to be very much Sierra Leonean, because from now on the interest of Sierra Leone is above politics. We are going to look at issues as they affect Sierra Leone, not political parties or political persons. We'll stop there for now, sir.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jamborea. As I promised, audience, let me go right to this election of bar officials, them, at the Bar Association of Sierra Leone. You know, anybody will know anything about lawyering and being a member of the legal profession in the true tradition, you know, of the Magna Carta, for understand, say, impression, appearance in the law. Most times when we read the craft, even the law, we say foreseeability or reasonable assumption, reasonable presumption, reasonable conclusion, reasonable deduction from a certain set of facts. And we also say appearance is perception. Perception is reality. What something appears to you to be, in your mind and in the mind of anybody where the same thing appear to be that same way to them, now in your perception of what that thing is to them. And that perception then becomes reality to that person there. You know, if you hold something, we get the structure of a snake, and it's 2-3 feet long, and it wiggles like a snake, you know, it's reasonable for you to conclude that it is a snake. It may be another creature you've never seen before. Maybe there's another name for it. But to you, that was a snake. And American man and get a saying, they say, if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, you know, it must be a duck. It may not be. So I cite then, I give them examples there for see what happened. Let's go back and revisit the Bar Association, the historic holding of the meeting in Kenema. When I first had that, I was impressed. I felt, yeah, it is good to hold such a respectable professional association, the bar meeting, upline, or whatever the current vocabulary might be for anywhere we're not to Western area. Na Bo, na Kenema. And let me also remind listeners them, me not one of them Sierra Leoneans, they won't know anything but Sierra Leone. I grew up in a Kalau district, Upper Bambara Chiefdom, Penembu town. I go school at Ebo town 9 years, from 1960 to 1969. So I'm as upline, and during my days in college, in high school, that is easily verifiable. I was a top-notch soccer player. So we go play from Colintien Secondary School, you know, to Koyema, to St. Francis, Kamakwie, so all the north. I never go school at the north, but I visited a lot of places up north, Putloko, you know, Sri Lanka, all them places in this secondary school. Well, I go there, so I'm familiar with upline. So let me make it clear, me not to one of them free town boy them, we don't know nothing but salon, or I don't know what you are the chalkboard. I'm as upline as any one of you. In fact, sometimes better than some of you guys. Okay? So this is not just me on take. So when I hear you say the Bar Association to go with meeting, I was happy, I was proud. I said, now these guys are thinking progressively. Because when you have a respectable body of people going into the country, like Bo, like Kenema, holding the meeting, it boosts the economy. Because when people come to town, when they go back in a free town, they know they go back empty hand. Then go buy memorabilia them for take go. If na Bo, you go buy Bo Gary, you go buy Bo Gara, you go buy Bo Country Clothes, or Kenema, it enriches the local business people them. For that weekend day when they come for do that election day, if we leaders were serious, particularly local leaders them, like the mayor of Kenema and all these guys, if they know anything about government, that should have been a welcome stuff, a move where them for greatly encouraged to be repeated. And they should have gone all out for do nothing for interrupt the flow of commerce in that area there, because it's good for the local business people and it be good for the economy. It's also good for people that will probably not go apply one day or not go school one day, they not go visit there one day. Because there are lots and lots and lots of Sierra Leoneans where one day not go beyond Kisii or Wellington. There are lots and lots of Sierra Leoneans also where one day not even see a big town like Kenema. Although Kenema is being referred to as a city, let's say big city, like Kenema, the Koidu, of course, like Bo. Okay, so it's very enlightening for people and from that place for opportunity for can let the kind of Western area, because we do know people there today when a minister in a salon, they not see a beach in their life throughout the high school education until some of them come free to Afrabi College. So not all them big name here with degree were exposed by the time they get a high school education. We know that. So it's good where we get the interchanges there. Western area, they come up, line, then people then from the north, the east, where they go now the western area. And I think we expertise now not for be so much about, because Sierra Leone, I think we will win an Academy Award for acronyms. I don't think any country beats Sierra Leone, forget acronym them. They this, that, the EDSA, they so and so. We are master at all kind of names. That's all we are good at. We do nothing beyond that. You see? So now I don't begin here recently and begin even to talk about the Southeast. I mean, good geography, but it adds nothing to the common knowledge of the Eastern Province. It's arguable, in fact, if the Eastern Province is in the South. But, so then Sabi, they not to that Sierra Leone need substance in the knowledge of them Bukmanea. Instead of coming up, we get enough. And I'm one person who was opposed to even the addition of these other districts. We didn't need any additional district from the 12 districts we had. If not, it was just short-sighted politics. We did not need any additional, because it takes money for run them bureaucracies than they. Every additional district need district commissioners, assistant district commissioners, you need personnel. We can't be complaining about we not get money, then we'll spread out. All for because short-sighted politics, but it is what it is. So long we not begin because sooner we talk about the Southeast, not Eastern Province anymore. We will begin talk about the Northeast, the Northwest. Then because we don't sabi that no more limited to how for name things them, but we can't actual stuff for produce we're not able, despite all this book. Okay. So I had to bring all this up. When the Bar Association go Kenema, it was a wonderful move. But little the people know it was a political maneuvering. What for is beyond me to this day. And I just want to ask a general question, and I hope people, lawyers in Australia, we see nothing wrong with that. Go call and make a case, because we young professionals, they talk, make a case and say reasonable people can differ. If somebody go call and make a case as to what happened in Kenema other than the purpose for which I just stated, that economically will have been good. It will have exposed people on both sides to each other. It will have improved the economy of Kenema town. Other than, let me come to me as some of the positive factors, and let me see. I want somebody for be able to tell me, why was it necessary for block the free flow of lawyers then will come out of the western area for going to Kenema, for go block the main bridge. And we think so that's a good idea. You know, I call that cheap politics. I call that short-sighted politics. I call that dangerous politics. Okay? I call that a misuse of power. But to some people, that's a clever move down there. I call that a stupid move. Now block the entrance, pretending like Motokago broke down at the bridge, we don't go allow people to come. The Bar Association set one time for the election to take place. Then they make the election take place much earlier in the day without announcing to the rest of the people who are the actual people who for vote. Then una stuff the ballot boxes. This is it's so plain. This was done in plain light, in plain view. Una clearly rigged the election. So what happened to with pride? If I had won an election under such condition, I would have said, for me on pride, for the good of the organization, for the good of the country, I would have said, let's call it off, let's do it all over. So whatever happened to decency? What should we be expecting from our people then? I mean, is it that standard no matter anymore? You know, is it that standard no matter? That we get for win election at all cost? Aren't we just imagine from an election that is highly questionable, presidential election? I even wonder why the president will even encourage such a thing to have taken place, and then the first visit of the leader, whose election is highly questionable. Okay, Ms. Gentry Jabi. I mean, everybody. I mean, that's to me is a gross insult to the intelligence of people. Because when I say people are not believe in AI, then people are not believe in yes. Or when I say, damn it, we don't care. Now we get power. And we'll go use it whichever way we feel. But is that how you use power? Is that how democracy will strive? Or thrive, I'm sorry, thrive? That appearance no matter to una. And we in profession, the very law profession, they say appearance is reality. When we see vividly on video commotion being taken place, don't we think now with duty as lawyers, as a profession that was once a noble profession, I keep saying noble, because we have not carried the tradition of the nobility of the profession, not to begin rigged by elections. You can't tell me say there is honor in rigging. So my disappointment is with the Bar Association itself. And then the Bar Association didn't stop that. They never called it off. They never avoid the election. They continue with it despite the signature and the objection and the position taken by at least 5 previous Bar Association presidents. They still head on with the questionable victory of the current president. Is this the kind of leadership we expect in our country? Doesn't this dash all any hope of a future for William picking them and Grand picking them? Instead, so one more time, we are destroying an institution that was once a noble institution, and we see nothing wrong with that. These are some of my own concern. When the night before the election, you see the ACC commissioner, by action, they celebrate, they do a pre-celebration of victory with the eventual winner. And then he's the man responsible for anti-corruption. What an irony. It's even more ironic that this young gentleman was once the kind of people that would look say the country gets a future if they were to become leaders. You know? So I am saying all this thing as a lawyer because it saddens me that instead of taking the profession to a new height, to fight for justice, fight for improving the court system, We really are bent on undermining, the efficiency of the system, whatever is left of it. Because we figure, say, for some reason, where it defies common sense, we think, say, that's a good way of going about things. So I'm raising all that point there because somebody got to say it. And last but not least, look how the police treat a young female lawyer. And I've always raised this issue about police power in our country. It did not start under President Bio. So when we talk about the tripartite, that's what I think tripartite is not going to do we any good. Any good. It's nonsense. I call it nonsense. Because there are fundamental problems in our country with political system that needs correcting, that needs redoing. Fundamental problem needs redoing. Otherwise, tripartite as it is defined right now will do us no good. When you get a young lawyer, when I chill in freedom for express in disagreement with the president of the country, not in a disrespectful way, just take an oppositional view. The police get absolute power for override the woman in constitutional protection and arrest them and maltreat them and abuse them and assault them. This is all being done by the police. The police will be the protector of law, and then they broke the law, all in the name of somebody said something. So they will remember now. The way the system then Australian, if somebody say, I don't like President Bio in year style, or the way they court with a baba. Now the Australian day, the police chief get the power for call you in and say, what you mean by like the president in here court? They get the power for detain you. They get the power for seize your telephone. They get the power for go search your house. Is this the kind of country we want? Is this the kind? How does that pose? Watching a young lady lawyer, they say we pose such a threat that warranted that kind of maltreatment. And what you will not understand, when you allow that to happen to anybody, it will happen to you because you empower the police. If there is anything Australia need, we will talk about tripartite. They need for curb police power. The police need to understand, say, they are there to protect everybody from the president on down. They are there to protect people in free speech. They're there to protect people in the freedom of movement and additional constitutional right. But when the police think, say, not to the job for protect, then find out the job for abuse people them for exercising the right, then at the job for politically prosecute people them, their unpopular view. If we talk about tripartite, that should be fundamental. And what you get for do in the country. Otherwise, all this is a waste of time. We need to get a situation where powers have to be placed in the hands. And look at the excessive power. I refer people them again. The best analysis of the excessive power of the president of Sierra Leone has been made by Sylvia Blyden. Go when I listen to it in audio or in video. I think it was a video. The power so unreasonably granted so excessive and unreasonably granted to the president. The president can get up any morning and say, you know what? I dream of Mr. X. Say, he want to overthrow me. When I go arrest him. The president get that power, they now in Australia. Or, when I be there, I've been to money the other day, this man be the look me so, I don't like the way they look me when I arrest him. The president get that power, they now. And all this now, the bad law, the way APC right for the president. What is tripartite doing? We don't know when I talk tripartite. But then anything forceful for deal, these are fundamental stuff. Otherwise, Salono will see in way. I'm telling you, guys, Sierra Leone will not see its way, tripartite or not. All this na the profession, then duty, the bar association. But now whether institution there is being diluted, corrupted, it adds more so to one other major institution going down. So let some of us have the courage. I love President Bill. I have nothing politically against him. I think he's playing hard politics because of the situation we get himself, the power way APC game. So, but if tripartite is going to do anything good for us, for God's sake, when I try to inject some of them flaws there within our system, without curing of them flaws, then they, I don't care whose kind of compact is made. We are never going to see the light of day. That country there for the next 50 years will be complaining about the same thing. Okay? I can say a whole lot more, but I don't want to dominate the show. And let me also inform the listeners then that the lines are open. If you get any dissenting opinion, if you get any supporting opinion, if you get any objective or independent opinion, please feel free to send in your comments, and you're welcome. That said, let us pass on over to me colleague, because we'll get to talk about the tripartite again. We'll get to talk about the gas power plant. We'll get to talk about so many other things. So, Mr. Jamboria, I pass it over to you, sir, and thank you for being so patient listening to all the things that I get to say.
Thank you very much. With regards to the Bar Association and the charade where they get another put more today. Man, they cry pass without getting buried.
You're right.
If the Bar Association been so bad, they should have come up with a solution since that botched election. But the Bar Association is politicized. It's part of the problem in Sierra Leone. So discussing about what happened is just a waste of time. It's just a waste of time. We can talk from now till thy kingdom come. What is wrong is always going to be wrong. And it's time we begin to understand in Sierra Leone that we cannot use the method that caused a problem to solve the problem. This is what we are always doing. We are running on a treadmill. And the other side about Sierra Leone is we are not looking at the intangible facts of this development. Everything today for the Sierra Leonean is the tangible. They don't build new airports, they don't build new roads, they don't build new bridge. We have been building new airports and new roads since I was a kid. I remember when I was small, Wadi Williams, we build Arokel Bridge. That's how they go. Now we go open them. That bridge where you don't build so now. That Arokel River Bridge for go towards that junction, that Lonsai Junction. I was there when it was built. I remember Wadi Williams built a road from Grafton by the hillside to Freetown. That road they don't well now, they don't build new one. People have to understand that development is not a tangible process. Whatever is tangible is the visual side of the intangible processes, systems, and institutions that have been set in place. And all of these, they institute in we mind, in we brain. Everything wrong about Sierra Leone is the way we think. If we don't change the way we think, it's done. If we change it, then we can begin to develop. You see, we get a mentality of impunity. The audacity with which we use impunity in Sierra Leone, I don't think it is any side in West Africa. The Sierra Leonean, they do things to encompass immortal man. He say, na me do am. Yes, now I make we get that word, you know that na me. Like all that mentality, that social psychology, now in the lead with all the events here. Because whatever we are discussing about bar association, election, etc., na event, na a product of a human psychology. And this psychology, as it is fast becoming counterproductive. I want to assure the one they use and say, the psychology get for begin hits them na them face. Like what David Diop write in poem The Vulture. Let them read that poem, let them understand what it be mean. Say they read the Paternoster and gave us holy water to slap us on our faces. Let them read them. You cannot play smart all the time in a crooked way. At some point, the table get for turn. Everything that is happening, the arrest of that lawyer lady, why? Because somebody thinks he's so smart, nobody should challenge him. Well, his smartness may be putting him on the losing end. We'll go counter that very soon. We're not going to discuss it now. The Sierra Leonean get for change in psychology. The Sierra Leonean get for change the way we understand interpersonal relations. How you see you come be mortal man, whether he is rich or poor, don't look down on him. You don't know what his talent is. You don't know what his capacity is. We they behave so. Then we they go back now churches and mosques. They go pray. We say, oh, believe God. We are the biggest hypocrites. And hypocrisy now one of the problem na Sierra Leone. I know one fellow na Oslo, a Palestinian radical, where they call all the time now them big forum. Recently, NORAD been get a conference where they invite and they as one of the speakers. He is called Iyad al-Baghdadi. He narrates the story from age 9 to now, how we don't go through the turbulences of life. Now I come with a statement say, the biggest threat to democracy is not autocracy, it's hypocrisy. And that statement applies, it fits Sierra Leone. The people who are supposed to be there to make things work, those we consider as the intellects, the educated ones, they are the biggest hypocrites. Yeah, that's why things are going wrong. If Bar Association not being a hypocrite, post Bar Association election, all the things that will happen not been for happen. They don't go present themselves to police, they don't go state house. So they don't verify the election, says don't understand. Why do me and you have to waste time talking about it? Still our time. The association is full of hypocrites. So let it be. When they make election as alone last year, they hold the country to ransom. A few people in two political parties, they hold the country to ransom for over 12 months. Then they make tripartite. This tripartite, if it was addressing the issues of Sierra Leone, it should have included all other political parties. We have 24 registered political parties. And by the 24, then they get 6 major political parties. Now then say, not to me say, why even the 6 major are not part of the tripartite? Is the issue of Sierra Leone only limited to APC and SLPP? Is that not the biggest level of manifesting hypocrisy? Sierra Leoneans are hypocrites to their destiny, so whatever they get, they deserve it, Mr. Shyllon. Some of we go begin talk now, not because we want to talk politics, we want to talk Sierra Leone. Some of us who see things from the non-linear perspective, because it's unfortunate we educational system na Sierra Leone, na yes a master do mabla, linear mentality, na then they go teach we. When you go university, you cram and pass. You get division 1. linear mentality. That's why the educated Sierra Leonean, when he talks mostly, you hear him doing recitations, not applications of knowledge. Most Sierra Leonean educated people cannot apply knowledge. They recite knowledge. I make when they go in public places, then prefer for talking English. In other countries in Africa, the educated class, then they talk in the Mami language. Then they apply what's in and learn in the Mami language. In Sierra Leone, person they team up on a podium, the first thing they read the common I much na English. And some of them, most of them, in fact, they talk it badly. They say it badly. Because we get that linear mentality. Recitation, not application. Regurgitation, not understanding of concepts. So we don't function. And because we don't function, for us to maintain our status quo, we become hypocrites unto ourselves. This is the problem of Sierra Leone. And until we get over this, let the talking continue until thy kingdom come. Nothing will change. Honestly. That's as far as I can say for this bar association issue. Man not the cry pass without getting bearing. I then get them bearing. If they're not able to cry for solve them, let we lay this matter to rest. They don't accept the executive that has been elected. So be it. If they know it's not an elected executive, they should know what strategic methods to use to have this thing reversed. But they don't care because everybody they make hypocrites. You know, for go na court for the go lost case. Because you know, say if it a lost case, you know go get clients. If they work for the government service, if for ceiling lip, otherwise he go lost in job. This is who we are. We don't have confidence in ourselves because we are not sure of how educated we are. If you are sure of how educated you are, when you know this is not right, you say it's not right. If it's not right for you, get out. That's why I admire Abdul Tijan Cole. When he was made, how do you call it, anti-corruption commissioner under the last government. When he not said it's not right, he make him stay in position known. He left the job and went away. He got jobs and now he's somebody. This is how intellectuals should behave. The role of the intellectual in society now for use your knowledge for create an environment of empowering the nation. And you do so for a good or humble purpose. Noble purpose, I'm sorry. Why do you do it for a noble purpose? You create and instigate change in society so everybody has trust to be participant in the society. But when you now create a botch system, now a few people no more, then are the society, the other people they now look there as non-entities, well, you now feel you now run the country. It just feel like Treasure Island. Long John Silver, in one be there being all the cast of gold, but it was not useful to him. So we're always in poverty. But when you create a situation where everybody has trust in everybody they get time for using talent, participate in the economic and political processes, create the wealth of the nation. We're not getting no business for day in poverty except that we have a non-functional intellectual class. It is sure every day in everything we do. I will stop this so far for now. Sir.
As a matter of fact, you touch on a few things about we people them. We therefore take some introspection. In other words, look at we self and see how we treat we self and see how unconcerned we are about the other person. So when they talk about some of the issues that we just mentioned, we know they really take things into account or things such as how would they destroy the system, a very, very, very rich political system where the white man they hand over to we. For the one they want for distort history, make it look like everything a white man fault. No. Whatever they earn we, regardless of how much they may have exploited us, they left with good educational structure. They left with solid and civil service. They left with sound economy. The SLPMB, all the major Ministry of Agriculture, forest industry, post office, Sierra Leone Railway, you name it, everything was working right. Now, when we take over, this desire to get rich quick, we first of all undermine due process of law, or undermine law, the rule of law, because we figure, say, once we do away with that, it will benefit some of we, and some of we within the power. And we see the effect of that, and we still continue for going that direction. This is the sad part about it. We're not even taking a moment for look back and say, this is not right. Okay? So these are some of the things that we complain about. I know, and some of us, like we can always say, we're not able to rise above this party politics. I always felt, I want another position way back when the NPRCB took over, way back. I did say the best thing they could have done for our country, then, we include the current president bill, was to have banned APC and SLPP from ever existing as a political party in Australia. I said that way back. It would have been so sort of a fresh air. For get rid of them two parties, they let everything start afresh. I think we will have been in a much better position. But as long as we try for bio or for management two party here, and even right now, let's say SLPP feel it's in their best interest for include APC no more. But doesn't APC understand that the other side have the upper hand? Now then duty for call in for the inclusion of the other party then. Because it's in their best interest, in addition to being in the best interest of the country. So why will they take upon themselves for bespoke people or spokespersons, persons for the rest of the other political parties? Them is beyond me. And people should look at APC and say, oh, this is a viable alternative to the current government? Why will anybody in the right mind think, say, if SLPP got a power today, what can give people in the hope for, say, APC could be a better party, then could do any better? They believe in the same thing where SLPP believe in. Their ideology, they're not getting ideological differences at all. Their ideology are the same. Their style of governance are the same. You know? So let people then step back and start thinking. We need for bring back the other party they want to try to exclude. Let them be part of the process. It's good for the country. You see, we don't see where the small party them, help the other party them, the big party them, for assume power. Because until this past election, no one party by itself was able to win the majority without some kind of association with a smaller party. I think this is the first time, probably last year's election was the first time we don't see where one party of itself, they claim up to 56% popular vote, although they didn't come up with any proof for see I didn't get that. But the way it was structured, I mean, if it was intended, that was very smart. That was political genius. for make sure say no one party, no single party was able to come up with 56%, which forced the other party them, the big party them, for associate with the smaller ones them, who make the smaller one them vital and important. So if APC was being constructive, they should look at it from that light. But because any other way they do, and just to empower SLP, we empower now. You know? So, but enough of that from my perspective. Unless Mr. Jambore, I want something else to say about that. I want for touch on some other
I could
development.
say about what you just don't say. We are giving too much credibility to processes that are botched. The NPRC would have ban the APC and SLPP. Take it from me.
Now, I agree
I'm
with you. I'm
saying
just
it.
simply saying that's what they should have
I'm
done.
coming. I am saying
Okay.
it out of deep inside knowledge. The NPRC was the SLPP in civilian that came to overthrow. As a matter of fact, the National Advisory Council of the NPRC, was the body that contested 1996 elections as SLPP. They wanted to ban political parties, but they advised themselves that you cannot ban APC, then you continue as SLPP. That will bring national crisis. These are inside facts some of you don't know. PRC was a breakaway from the RUF to come and overthrow President Momo. Just like the NPFL of Liberia was a breakaway, IMPFL, I'm sorry, was a breakaway from the MPFL of Charles Taylor. Prince Johnson's IMPFL. Let sleeping dogs lie. Let us stop giving credit to the 63 years of nonsense that has taken place in Sierra Leone. Let us stop making references about the same set of people who have held our country to a proxy war for 63 years. They'll come to the public to pretend as if they're enemies. In camera, they are the best of friends. From now on, let Sierra Leone take prominence over our discussions. The people of Sierra Leone have always been the victims. And even those who think they are smart, they have been the losers always. Because take the example of the Bears Consolidated. They were the ones running Sierra Leone's Election Trust, SLST. When Stevens took over, he said, let us come and negotiate so that Sierra Leone will be getting 50%. This negotiation continued up to 1975, and SLST closed, Delco closed down. The same De Beers Consolidated because the intellectuals in Botswana are united behind their country's welfare. Botswana was able to get 50% from De Beers, and that is pushing the economy of Botswana today. That's why I said originally, our biggest problem is hypocrisy, and it's with the intellectuals. And it's the intellectuals that are in the political class. So now left for the give credit here and there. Everything that has been done in Sierra Leone is wrong. Even this tripartite, now the biggest scam. Then after the tripartite, when they say they don't reach the end of the road to the scam, then they can't tell people they're on national unity. National unity for what? Who has to unite for what reason? If there is going to be a national unity, go to the people, talk to the people. Since this government in power, a lot of killings don't take place. If they mean national unity, they should come out with a national statement. Because those families that lost their relatives, they are part of Sierra Leone. National unity is not for APC and SLPP alone. for every Sierra Leonean. If they mean national unity, then for address the issues where they make people and they feel for protest. And for come out with a roadmap and say, okay, people, we don't understand, say we get this problem. From now on, we go try for do this, do this, do this. Then give an assurance to the people. Then take an oath before the international community when are them backers them. Now we see if national unity no go hold. But you cannot have national unity for a few, the masses are suffering, then you say national unity. Crime is created when there is injustice in society. In societies where there is social justice, crime is limited. In this society that I live, crime is limited. In America, crime is very high because there is injustice. So what I'm saying directly here is that kind of capitalistic democracy which Sierra Leone practice, copying from Britain and America, they work for we. They work for development needs, they work for with social psychology. So the governments, the politicians, and other people for sit down together, let we get a roadmap for Sierra Leone. We go take into consideration the cultural, the social, the economic, and other needs for the people. Then another thing we them for do, if we are going to have a new constitution, that roadmap should be an entrenched part of the constitution. If for they on the chapters where they deal with the political, social, and economic objectives of the nation, say the national roadmap is mandatory and obligatory on every government to complete and continue it. When one is completed, the country can sit again and get another roadmap. Now we left this issue of manifesto. People come and talk a whole lot of bunk or nonsense. They're not even noting and they go into. Now begin a roadmap. Develop for a country where you get a lot of resource potentials. Say from year this to year that, this is what we are going to do in terms of education, health, telecommunications, etc., etc. Then the Jack and Tom now they come. When I get power, I'll come with solar. Solar is not our solution. We can have all the solar farms in Sierra Leone. It will not run the industries we need. The country where now the architect for solar, France, then they use less of them. And they use more of nuclear power because they get for run industries. Industries need high energy machines. Solar is just for house. The best you can do with solar now for run your house or run lightweight industries. Should we left this emphasis about solar, clean energy, green energy? Let us look at Sierra Leone as it is. Let us look at our local resources. Let us plan how we are going to develop those local resources. China would never have developed if she had looked out into the world. When China wanted to develop, then closed themselves up. The West began called the iron curtain nation. They looked within on the local resources and built themselves up. But we all turn out for wait for international community. The fact that we overemphasize international community in Sierra Leone, tell you say intellectual class, they don't know the aid from them tail. If they know the aid from them tail, they know they wait for international community for can't tell them. Now then for plans say now this we want. Where international community can say this is how we want them, this is the way we are going to do it. If you want to provide the funds, okay. But all time now they go and praise international community, the bigger. Go to South Korea, we've been past 1961, they go big there now. It all shows how morally wrecked we are. We're a morally wrecked nation. And we need to do something about that. I will stop there for now, sir.
All right, sir. Along that line, there, one thing that we've been without the Yeri was so prevalent of late, and it baffles me. Maybe I'm missing something. They even get a song, let's give peace a chance, where they almost become the national anthem of Sierra Leone. Let's give peace a chance. But I consider Sierra Leone as a very peaceful country. We are not at war. We are not chopping each other down, except when there is overreaction and oversensitivity on the part of the government, when people then speak their mind or people then even dare for demonstrate peacefully. Otherwise, it's a very peaceful country. Okay, so what is all this overemphasis and just repeated outcry about let's give peace a chance? Let's give peace a chance. Peace for
You want
what?
an answer, sir?
Yes, sir.
It's
Go ahead.
because we have the culture of audacity of impunity. Talking about peace, they create fear in the minds of the people, say we are at war, which is not true.
Indeed.
It's the best thing our intellectuals do. They create deceptions and lies all the time for people to feel we are in a crisis, when in fact we are not. Go ahead, sir.
Indeed, because does peace mean there should not be any objection to what you say? Who has a monopoly on ideas? So if I disagree with you, does that mean I'm not a peaceful person? Or does that mean I want to hurt you? Is it part of even normal human reaction interaction for disagree with each other?
You now host, they disagree with you.
Yes.
So don't you expect outsiders to disagree with you? Does that make them violent?
Or not peaceful because then disagree. So I've never, but this just become a constant beacon of about let's give peace a chance, let's give peace a chance, let's give peace a chance. And I don't understand that. How can we, how will give peace a chance? Peace get a chance. Peace is flourishing. Australia, as far as I'm concerned, it's a peaceful place. People go to nightclubs. People walk the street freely. People go about their daily business. People are not fearful that if they go downtown or go to the neighbor, they may not come back home. So, what is this, like you say, infusion of perceived fear? Because the fear is not real about peace. And who
The
has
way
more
we
power?
apply crisis democracy in Sierra Leone.
You know, so I've always been wondering what peace are they talking about? Since when did the war begin? Since when did it begin that I am not aware of? That peace is so highly needed among we. People still speak to each other. Tribes, people from different tribes, them still maintain them friendship from high school, from neighborhoods.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, so we need to stop that. This, I mean,
You get
they over.
northerners now the southeast where they do business there. You
Yes,
get
sir.
southerners now the northwest where they do business there. So where is this peace we are crying for? It's all part of the deception and lies to hold the people to political and economic bondage by a few people, less than 5% of the population, and then they manipulate with systems. So Sierra Leone is being run by a cabal. That's one fact the people of Sierra Leone needs to know. It's being run by a cabal that distributes itself in all the major political parties. They are there. They pretend to be against each other in public. In private, in camera, they laugh, they eat and drink together. When one of them goes too extreme, then he gets the rat. They either imprison him like they did to Mohammed Mansare or something else. It's a cabal, and the cabal is recruiting younger people all the time. That's how Sierra Leone has been run since independence. If you don't belong to the cabal, you're outside. So it is. I was never in the cabal, so I was never one of the liked fellows, but I don't care. I have my integrity. You always say, boy, you look younger every day. Yes, I look younger every day because I have less strength and a conscience. There are my colleagues who have, when we grew up together, most are dead, some are now in wheelchair, etc., etc. They joined something they never knew what they were going into. But from this time on, the people of Sierra Leone need to know the truth. Sierra Leone has a potential that we must not allow to continue this way. If we organize our country in the next 2 to 5 years, the minimum wage in Sierra Leone will be $500. And as time goes on, when consumption increases, thereby increasing demand, supply, and production, the wealth that is created will ensure that the minimum wage in Sierra Leone in the next 15 to 20 years will be above $3,000 and would have more billionaires in Sierra Leone than any country in West Africa. But because the intellectuals are dummies up here, they think keeping everything under lock and control, that's the way things should go. They are wasting their own time. After you spent all your life doing bad things, you cannot get up to $500 million assets, which is nothing compared to others in the world of rich. Then you've just wasted your time. You've just put yourself in a wrong spiritual position because you have that conscience all the time that I've been involved in things that are unbecoming. And most of them end up as drug addicts or alcoholics. Go and watch your politicians. That's how they end.
Okay, very quickly, sir. I'll just want add, then I will take some call, then I'll go back to you. In support of what you say, like I always tell people, my dad in Pendembu was one of two black traders, them, shop owners, them, who get shops the size of the Lebanese, them, who were the dominant group of people with good flourishing business. With Shyllon and one Mr. Kuruma, SS Kuruma in Pendembu. Then in the 60s, we opened a masterpiece store na Kwendu on the boundary of Liberia and Guinea. The point I'm trying to get at, the business you do in Kwendu, the weekend started on Thursday. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That'll be just a 4-week day. 4-week day then get 4 weekdays. That's all. But the business where you go do Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it passed 2 weeks of business than any other partner in Australia. And if Kwendu, if we leaders and we get a vision, Kwendu will have been the Dubai of that region by now.
Or let us say of the Mano River Union.
Because it was so economically flourishing and so promising. But like Bob Marley say, in the midst of water, the fool is thirsty. So the brain, like you talk about the international drainage, the intellectual drainage, the leaders do not get the foresight. Abbas Bundu, they all be the head, be chairman of Mano River Union, all then this and that. What did they do with all this PhD these guys are bragging about? They all forbid see the crystal ball, look into the crystal ball and see the light at the end of the tunnel and lead with it and not do them. So I'm sick and tired of giving praise to their so-called book Mumuda.
All right. Let me not talk about all what happened from independence to now.
Exactly. Yes, sir. Let me take some calls. Hello, caller. What your name, Musa? You the call for? If you can state your name if you wish, you don't have to, but it's welcoming. Yes, sir. Go ahead. Or yes, ma'am.
Hello, viewers. This is now Umaru the call.
Mr. Umar, nice to hear your voice. Welcome again.
I decided for call because I read Mr. Jambura the talk about cabal.
Okay.
But you know, give me one reason why Sierra Leoneans politicians don't form a cabal.
All right.
Give me one reason why they don't for do them.
Mr. Umar,
when we the city,
the word cabal, cabal
Okay.
itself is a reason that they should not form a cabal. Go and find the definition of a cabal.
Okay, Mr. Jambori, let Mr. Umar give you side, then you can respond to him. Go ahead, Mr. Umar.
Yeah. Me know they look the academic. Well, I can always talk and say me no go school, so me I know they engage in too much academic issue. For go research, no research. Me I know something anything and this. Sorry, Mr. Jamburia. What he had to try for talk now that why politicians not form cabal when you get Sierra Leoneans in that country, and then they shade the politicians. You get Sierra Leoneans in that country, well educated. In fact, let me tell you something. Sierra Leoneans are educated. Then go school. Then learn book pass themselves. Then they all over the world. Then they in Europe. Sierra Leoneans, they sit down, educated one them all. Politicians where then go school, then sabi pass, then cable teach in a classroom. They can explain. You go see that one they call in a program. Say, this one don't win me at. I'll see if he at na gamble. We know the all we politicians into tax. Anyone we can explain small. Say this you don't wait, so explain policy. No go tell you how it go get them. No go tell you what in the route where you go for make implementing thing. Then say you don't win me at. Then come out and support her. Then go cost and say for her. Then go cost people and mammy them for her. Then go to the extent for star people and for that kind of politician. When it puts somebody, when not on merit, it puts on a power. How it no go form cabal? Why it not form cabal? When you get Sierra Leoneans, diaspora, you get Sierra Leoneans where they tell you say, I don't want any me what I don't see now. So anybody come out southeast part, I don't want get anything for do with them. You get Sierra Leoneans, and then people not a politician. Ordinary Sierra Leoneans who lack any charisma for being politician. They tell incompetent Sierra Leoneans say, if you're not the southeast, you come out, for you're not the northwest, you come out, I don't get nothing for do with you. So we think we self we don't get that divide. We don't get that moral stance there for all politicians to account. So no matter the form cabal, no make they see anyone will come on a gutter because some can take them. Some can just come on, they don't in one corner, some they live on social, then come on go to that country, then go see them the fry people ahead. Why they not form cabal? We the Sierra Leoneans, we self now we don't people. In fact, now we don't organize them people into cabal. Not to them form cabal. Now we organize them into cabal. You know, we get them. We organize them to a cabal. When politician the thief would glorify. You know, we get when they form the commission of inquiry, who all feel adult na that pick all politician responsible. Then put politics into her. At the end of the day, the man where be the inside where he talk all kind of talk. At the end of the day, the man then go behind police and they arrest journalists and they put them in a cell. When the former chief minister. When time be there will not be even Sabi in that country. They all in professor na America. They no do anything on your own. They go na Sierra Leone. They go speak English, but people are aid. We get former government. When them thief, nobody know anybody pass. You know, honest. Now you gonna say the former government a politician not be the thief. But we get Sierra Leoneans the way they fight, where they pull devil for them kind of politicians a day. They will talk about cabal. Now we don't organize the people. Let me talk cabal. Until we this anyhow we talk if we Sierra Leoneans we not come together, we try for dissolve that cabal where they don't form. It need to work. Now recently I watch programs, they see politicians, they can't see they talk. That man will go school, you educated, we get the Munku and diasporas that they're well educated. He say you don't win me out. How somebody go win you out? Just can talk, let's see you at na gamble. Anyway, thank you. But this cabal talk, then go form cabal until we the Sierra Leoneans they will realize say cabal not good for that country. Thank you very much.
Before you go, I'm sorry I cut you off. I don't understand your point now. You correct.
It's frustrating. When you see people then say they go school, you see people they call themselves professors, they call themselves doctors, this, that. Now you go see somebody old mic. Even more tough, brush on among your old mic, they talk to people and they say, don't buy me, you don't win me out. You as an educated man, how somebody goes go win it out over a radio program? Well, even though I go implementing policies, he say don't win me out. Then when the time people go na power, how they not go form cabal? Then you the same Sierra Leone again. Now you go see again. You want criticize them kind of people, and how you go do them? When you know vet them people know well before they go na power. How you go to get them for accountable? But anyway, Sierra Leone just talk about a story. This one it don't be story now. So I think we'll go for directors allow at Netflix in. Thank you very much.
And you're right. Before I take another call, you're right. Because you saw when the enablers them. Because in English now we enable them we have to form the cabal. Like Mr. Jamboria say, now one understand where you're coming from. Because I don't see the current Minister of Information, it dance devil with a group of people. Now that solidarity, they fine. But the one that it makes sense for him to dance the devil with them. Now the one that would dance with another, it don't look make sense about. So they go give them 2-3 million, say, hey, I mean your contribution this to the group. So that means then go vote for our next time. That means then go bond somebody else for our next time. That means then go beat somebody up for our next time. You're right. Now we they enable them. But I don't want to drag this too far. Make us see if I can take one or two other call. Then we'll go touch on one or two other bases or information that we'll see one cover today. Hello, caller. Who's are you to call from? If you want, what's your name?
Good evening again, Mr. Shyllon. This is Nafudu Mustafa, the call again from Leicester.
Mr. Mustafa, thank you very much. Hope all is well in Leicester.
Thank you for your time again. First of all, I want to divert to small because I think not only then network there we will see them canteen there. If na all member, then we tell we say any container we can now attacking now, therefore open all the bag them, therefore check all things them because of Kush. Shockingly to me, my niece, my sister and picking, even go fast in Kuwait, I go sick day, so I get for the repatriate them. So the things they will send, because they talk this day, I will no say any day they in a crisis na salon, na side for make money. Only nine that they care about. You don't be to Ebola, you don't be to COVID. Today they're not till today they know this them all which they make nobody no. So now then we talk say then they begin for open all the back them. So when the picking we go, it takes some months because when they send cargo and it take. I don't pay for the things them. I think each bag now 60 Kuwaiti dinner, maybe not 200, something like about $200, something like I pay 3 bags them. So now him then go the bag them. So when they reach na Frito, now the man tell me say, I get for pay again 200 local I get for pay 200,000 loans. I say for it. He say made them open the bag them. Imagine the government don't talk say they open bag them. Now if you send something, you put 200,000 and open them the bag. When I see why we not solve problems, when I see why salon would they we always specialize for they do the wrong things. Even this peace one they talk about so now the same things them. We're always doing the wrong things. They make this policy say they want check for Kush. Now I don't can be say if you get 200,000 per bag, then they open the bag. Now, how much things then you go na Otaki? How much money people they make? Now the one way they scan on and they go say, okay, Lord no scan them. When I give this money. That is what is happening now. Me are shocked. It's not now we not been there last week because we have been getting this year. The thing what I want to talk about that. Now they call Gismed and in order to call for. So now they happen with this Kush fet right now. So I just say like I put them here because you don't have to put COVID, you don't have to put Ebola. We see the crisis na salon now for make money. This peace token I talk about, I don't tell it because even EY now they talk and they wouldn't get. Oh, peace platform. I always go to tell them say when I forget for talk about this peace here. So I don't know they would know they at war. Which side problem come over? Una just do the right things. Then go make election. You don't pass 1 year because una not do the right thing. They talk about election. Then una say let them talk about peace. It means say peace na salon say now let you do the wrong thing. Me what I talk about them. I mean that the post won't take out peace. This is not talking peace. They not talk say when you do the right things then to people like justice and other things. They will get peace. But no, okay, I can't thief now. You don't can broke me the mouth for can't thief. You don't can take there. You don't talk no more. Don't make peace. No, you forgive me. I'm back. Do the right things. We're not there at war. Every day they talk about peace. Oh, peace
Peace.
ambassador. This they make message for peace. But peace not the any peace we get for do na the world where they work. It means say we not get for talk the truth. We not get for talk when they say justice. Now so peace they come out and then the little boy anything they just say no cover them. No, not to peace so. Then just put them on top. Even the one issue. You know, settle it. Oh, the Kigami to come on at that police. Now, I'm going to say the one that probably not done. Anyway, my time done though. No, thank you. Thank you very
All
much,
right, sir.
guys.
But please feel free for call back. You're
No problem.
always welcome because, in fact, what you just say again, they just show you how we undermine due process and the rule of law. Because if you ever begin pay 2,000 leons for open a bank, or not to the purpose only of the law. The law is either for open suspicious containers them or bags them, we might contain something suspiciously, reasonably based suspicion of contraband. So now if they begin to tax people them, that's the kind of thing government for crack down on. And again, why I can talk about the short-sightedness of a government. Without the diaspora, that country, the poverty go even worse. The kind of way to sustain the economy, the remittances, financial, the monetary remittances, they're all the same. And the goods, they're all the same. And some of which the trips they want to make go alone. Now that they sustain the economy. Without the diaspora, where the Sierra Leoneans and they try to make the government or the ones in power are trying to make any, without diasporans them, that country, the people will suffer. Now we to sustain the economy from during the war till now. But again, let not dominate the conversation. I want to take some more calls. Hello, caller. What you know your name? Say the call from. Hello, caller. Hello. Hello, caller.
Hello, yeah. Hello, Mr. Shyllon.
Hello, sir. Who is calling?
Hello, Mr. Yeah, this is Abdul. They
Oh,
call from
Mr.
Maryland.
Abdul. Welcome. All right.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I just thank you for this program. Now, welcome back. I just want to give a little contribution and perhaps I'll go ask a question. I just want to support Mr. Jalo Jamboya, which he talk entirely as say, since the inception of independence, we not get a roadmap. The founding fathers, they not made foresee how the country for go. So if they don't begin stumble from the onset, we don't continue for lead to this deep animosity, venom, and hatred. We don't so deep in the psyche of we politicians and the populace. It all starts from there. That from the inception, Salon of the Shaka Stephen, we don't get that they were as daggers drawn with the Samuel and the others. So from then up to this, you find out say that hatred next day, they don't let the two parties, because the APC then and the SLPP for let them all two sit down and chart a roadmap for the betterment of Sierra Leone. Because if we don't get that roadmap there, when we don't embed it now the constitution, where if we be an entrenched clause that from this time to this time we for them to achieve something in education, the second primary and secondary school education, health, we don't try for get universal health care, energy, we don't make sure say about 70-80% of the country don't get energy, what for provide pure drinking water, we don't make sure say every town, every village for don't get a pure drinking water, and good roads, then food security. We for make sure say we cut down drastically in food security, but they're all oblivious of that and decide for the stab themselves, do me or do you politics, knock me and knock you, knock not the left one. Every one of them, when they assume power, they always reference the wrong things where the other one we don't do. Afterwards, so we don't do, we don't do this, we don't do this. So both parties, so none of them not able to forget the moral high ground for say, you know what? Let me just forget and discard what we don't do in a bad things. So not let the country go before. Let me focus now on things that will make the country progress. Now that's the two parties. The two parties they'll too lack that. In fact, waiting we don't see since the inception of the multi-party democracy in 1996 up to this one, we expect say from a get a clean slate. Now deceptive politics with the see. Deceptive underground subterranean politics with the see. When one comes to power, they involve in deceptive politics for out to do the other, just for achieving your own goal. Now that we don't see systematically. And coming to this electoral system, I will see them and I don't see them for the opposite side. That unless we get strong institutions, then if we not get strong political institutions and democratic institutions, the country, let me forget about the country moving forward. Even this tripartite agreement with them, so as Mr. Jalo Zamboya they say, it's a sham. If we not get strong institutions, we go be independent from the chief executive. Let us forget the electoral commission for being independent. Let me write law for say the president. Yes, we are going to appoint, but let it be in that open interview. Let people interview prospective candidates where we know say you not get any influence over, so then go be independent in the execution of their duty. The Anti-Corruption Commission. This now the way with Kenya after 2007 political debacle. Now that part and take. But Salon, we still not land left in it. If we don't take that part today, if this political decree, even for handover power, when for Bona court, we don't settle long before. Up till now, we're able to forget political transition act. 7 days where they it's too small for let a party go over all the way to results where they don't come. For let people for going to the Supreme Court for go contest an election. It's too small. Kenya they go 3 months. Other countries they go, but but I always say like when we don't talk earlier on the 1991 constitution, a snake constitution, and APC do because they want to continue the authoritarian rule. When SPP come, they see and say for let them continue the authoritarian rule. So these are the problems we encounter. It is very, very difficult for us to come out of this admire. I will call back.
Thank you very much, Abdul. Thank you. And this would say, so if tripartite really in a serious business, women or things say it is as serious as it ought to be, then for inject or incorporate into their manifesto, into their goals, into their jurisdiction, all the issues there, what would they raise? Go back and revisit the Constitution, redefine some of the entrenched clauses there, because one clause I always get issue with. The area that talks about census, or when I say every 10 years, then I've asked Bundu them and Abdullah they all went at the Bukman them, when I say, but the president, in discretion, can call the commissioner of elections, an orderer, or the president with the advice of, or the commissioner of insurance with the advice of the president, or in consultation with the president, can call midterm census. That's rubbish. Constitutionally, that's nonsense. If the Constitution says 10 years,
Shyllon,
it's 10 years.
Mr.
There
Shyllon,
should not be any legislature who go override constitutional mandate. So
Mr. Shyllon,
you see, that's political nonsense. That's constitutional nonsense. I don't understand that kind of rubbish. That's absolute rubbish. And when we
Mr.
talk about,
Shyllon,
yes, sir.
the fact of the inclusion of census in the Constitution, it tells reasonable world how intellectually backward, technologically backward we are. Have you ever been counted in a census in the United States?
I may have been, but not knowingly. So
Have
I
you
can't.
ever been counted in a pronounced census in the United States?
No,
How long have you lived in the United States?
over 50 years.
I came to Norway in 2003. I was registered in the National Registry. The only thing that changes in that registry now is when I change address, I go to the internet, I change and say this is where I'm moving to. Next is, if any of my children bears a child, that name is automatically added to the family name in the database. There is always a biometric database. We are talking about biometrics. I remember back in 1991-92, I made a proposal to the deputy chief immigration officer, a personal friend, that Sierra Leone must go electronic with immigration data, births and deaths data, and such data, such that we would not have reason to be doing census anymore. But the intellectuals in Sierra Leone don't want to do these things. You know why?
Why?
They don't want to lose that money they go and beg for. They have a beggarly mentality. They lack integrity. You don't need census. It must not be part of our constitution. It's telling that we are intellectually incapable of running ourselves. There are countries on earth today that conduct census. Very few. Because there is always a national register for the people. Whether you live within the country or not, if there is a national register, your name is in that register. Your data is there. As a matter of fact, all passports now are going to be relying on that data. So Sierra Leone cannot avoid it. As long as our passport is being made biometric, we have to ensure we have a national people's register indicating every Sierra Leonean who is a citizen, everybody resident in Sierra Leone who is a foreigner. And one thing people may not know, social security numbers or national identity numbers are not just any guesswork, cadabra. It is a systematized code. When I tell you my national security number is this, you know my date of birth, you know the time of entry into the United States or in Norway, then you know my area of residence originally. Like in the United States, your social security number is based on the state you live. There is a code in it. Either 1 digit or 2 digits, you may not know as an outsider. These are all part of state security. We start talking about state security all the time. We give drunks gun to go all over the place shooting people. Get those things in place, then you'd have better national security. But this issue of census, let we left for talk about them. Let we left for the empower idiots. Let begin tell them what thing them for do. Sierra Leone should have the capacity to have a national people's register put in place between now and the next 2 years, if they are ready. All births and deaths should be registered automatically, so they know who is alive, who is dead. They know everybody's address. When it's time for elections, they send to you your electoral card. Before, they used to send it to me on the post. Now it comes electronically. I'll just go to my phone and my ID. I vote. And as a matter of fact, last municipal elections, I voted through the computer. Why is Sierra Leone not able to make those progress? Is the internet or the cyber highway limited in Sierra Leone? If it is, why is it limited? It's all about the fact that we don't have a roadmap. Every Jack and Tom wants to be head of state. They'll come with a lot of high-sounding crap telling you it's my manifesto. They don't even know what is relevant for the country. Since you have been hearing people talking about manifestos, has there ever been anyone mentioning roadmap?
No.
They don't know. They come, when I come, I'll build 10 hospitals. I'll build 50 roads. They don't even have a dime in their pocket. Some of them even are walking on broken shoes. But they'll make all these high-sounding promises because they believe when they come, the international community will be dishing money to them like chocolate. What? You begin talk Sierra Leone now. Let we people and begin understand, say, we are limited not because God is wicked to us, but we are limited because of the way we think. We are and we become as we think. Just all not to rocket science. Now normal system building. Now normal process procedures where they allow a government to function properly. But the political class willfully not they allow them because they don't want to be transparent and accountable. They want for the do kukujumuku on the hand, mokofe, because they all now woman more okay them. I'll stop there.
I appreciate the fact that I've asked you to tell me some of the development we can bring for ourselves, but not to priority that. For example, all the example we give we get for do with the cyber system. What did we choose to do? Now, for use the cyber act or cyber law for harass a poor lawyer, we're not committing any offense. But you see, instead of divert that into constructive, productive use, look the rubbish what they do. So how are we going to go? How are we going to progress? I mean, it's so disappointing, you know. But let me just move quickly. Now we already hear about this gas electrical plant. All right, let me take a call, at least a call, because I don't want to keep people on hold too
So
long.
we can go to that as the last issue for today.
Yes, sir. Well, we're approaching the time, so we can take an up as soon as possible. Hello, caller. What's your name? Who's side you call from?
Yes, now me again for the Mustafa from Leicester.
Okay, Mr.
I
Mustafa,
just
go
want to
ahead.
talk about, first of all, me, I always don't talk about this thing we then call tripartite. Now the country say, well, now because of the laws, then we will get now the books them make Marabio then declare him president, not to see because win election. So therefore, if they able APC able for ignore the problem about the question about results, then they focus on reforming these laws, it could be something
Exactly.
way better. But again, it come to who that they implement the laws in the country. Now they will get the biggest
Thank
challenge
you. Thank you. What's the
because
question?
the 2022 Public Election Act they broke them several times. Even the national constitution, because they say we register people anybody when a councillor or parliamentarian or chief they come testify to this person now this area day and you don't reach the vote for the age for vote. With the one who will register, then they register them people and they and at the first day they begin talk say, oh this thing is fake, this thing is fake, that is fake. A commodity then say we don't for register now 1 month, you make am 2 weeks. You don't broke the law back. They say for exhibit after they no register na 2 weeks. You do am 4 days, you say they count an app. So you don't broke the laws them way through. So now I also talk am say the one way they broke the law mostly na the government or
Yeah.
because they
Oh,
get
yeah.
protection for doing that. If not the other person wey know the entire governance, you know fit to am. So if to me positive say they make laws they reform this, but it come back to the fact say how the implementation dey for day because na they didn't get for focus their attention throughout the election. Na they it begin so they broke this so it don't pass. So wetin I dey hope say when they make the next election then go do according to the laws they back they not make. Because me one main thing why Buhari dem focus on now when they say accountability. Would that do something bad, make them hold them accountable? Because if you they make the law say now this way them for register people exhibit them or do this, you can't broke them, may you not go scot free for that because you don't think people that go scot free for doing things in the country. So now the one thing and the one I want to talk about small about the tripartite. Briefly, but I just want to talk about what we talk about census. Then the government we don't count one scheme we they call NCRA where they don't spend money. But the problem now, if they implement the NCRA, they're not able to do the kukujumuku, what you call as salon kukujumu. They're not able because NCRA they capture somebody in biometric things them. So the government, even Marcella, then organization, we don't just let government forget about census. Let them put the attention on the NCRA because we did NCRA, no able to register 2 times. But no, they not do them. They don't want do them because if they do them, they're not able to thief. Because me, I haven't argued. We didn't talk about census. Say, oh, that will able plan. If say you get 1 million people in the country, we able to do something for. Do them first, let them benefit. We say you want to know how much people there for plan. Which you don't plan? Take the water no day. Eh? If you dey plan now for 8 million, the 2 million where them be there for water, where them be don't know or 3 million, we not still get water. Wetin I get forget the money for make for give 8 million people the water. So I always say and say this is not necessary, but let them focus their attention for make sure say e no go be duplicate. Why can't Belgium? Now airport na they would dey, na dem give you national number. Then na Belgium how dem dey do am, you date of birth, all the people who born that day, they get the number. Outside they be tapped to the last man, the next man just they can't take. So then they do your date of birth, your year of birth, then they reverse them. When they reverse them, then put numbers in the end. So that's what then they give them and which you don't get that number, they don't. Will not get census. You change address so you just they go na the commune, you go tell them say I don't change the police guy can confirm them. You don't. They don't get census. It's all a waste of resources. The small money that 10 million you go spend, that 10 million you use them for make fair water for your people. But they are not interested in those things. All which they're interested in, how they remain in power. We think give you power because power now for like you can improve life or you maintain living standards. They know they do them. Then just they want in power at hook or crook or at all cost, then they continue to do the wrong things then. I go tap out for today. Una thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mustafa. Thank you, thank you. All right, let's get as much opportunity to as many people. Let me take 1 or 2 other calls. Hello, caller. Watching. Now your name, where you call from. Please try to limit the conversation to 3 minutes because we're almost out of time.
Yeah, okay,
Go
Mr.
ahead.
Shyllon, I just want to make a kingdom to wait time in the talk just now. Say the tripartite, not to say the recommendations them not will be good though. You know, we always good in making laws. But the problem na Sierra Leone implementation, just as the previous caller rightly stated. If we now rewrite this constitution where the two parties then they use the bad constitution to their own advantage because due to political deception and trickery. If we now rewrite them and make the constitution go serve posterity, go stand the test of time, or we picking them and grand picking them, we will not be going anywhere. Now, what they always emphasize on, and I always go continue for talk about that if we not get independent democratic institutions, the parliament let be independent and perform the constitutional role. The other arm of government, judiciary, let us assume the president only appoint the chief justice, but the chief justice will be security of tenure, because we don't see over the years from the 1980s when we remember when Leif Selyuk, Steven Sakam, up to this moment. Now they don't call us, they don't say back again. Then they force the chief justice to go leave for retirement. You cannot do that. Even if ruling when the Supreme Court make against you or the court make against you, you don't get that right there for court shot the chief justice in terms of office. Now, if you go for all other democratic constitutions, the PPRC, the Electoral Commission, the president will appoint them, but it will be an open interview. The PPRC will be an open interview. They forget the justice of the president forget the right to stop them and then do no job. Embedded in this recommendation and then make them a constitutional law. It embedded in the constitution and it be entrenched clause in the constitution. We go able for the CLW, but if the thing and they can lose so, just as the mistake where them do when they write the 2022 electoral act, I mentioned that some time ago before the election. I'm telling you, I say when them talk say the chief electoral commissioner can announce the results the way we in feel. When I don't give the man the way for do any 281, but we don't get bookman in the parliament. We not for able to say let we expunge that aspect today. Let you know announce the results the way we in one for announcer. But let announce the results based on international standards and based on the act itself. So these are some of the mistakes that we do. If we're not able to rewrite that constitution day and make them fit for purpose, let us serve posterity and stand the test of time. Let we picking them and grand picking them, because like we know the hope again. Some of we don't pass 50, 60, 70. We not I will picking and grand picking them with the first for now. Let them meet something where go be a legacy. So I just say for that make addition and talk about that.
All right. Let me take one more call. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you call from?
Hello, viewers.
Hello, caller.
Kamaru, they call again.
All right, Mr. Omar, go ahead.
What I can listen to we elder na the studio. Sometimes I can laugh. Well intelligent by Mr. Jamburia. You talk about something, you touch something where most of the time we topic in that country, we discuss in that country, the politicians they don't just spin who wants. After the 2018 election, the whole of 2018 election, after that, the whole of 5 years, or if not all, almost 90% of the 5 years, when we talk about commission of inquiry, which ones? So in the process, we're not able to discuss, we're not able to engage yourself in positive discussions in that country. Now we go so small, 1 year don't go. Titi we dip politics, we dip neck no neck, commission no commission, ruler for rule, ruler no for rule, ruler for make party, tripart, tri-fee. Titi Mr. Jamburia talk something. Say if he registered, it is don't sit down in house, he vote. They don't vote for municipality election through a laptop, Mr. Jamburia. We get a whole office that account called the post office, Mr. Jamburia. African countries, the Uganda, when a soldier man, they rule for how many years? If you the bill host na saloon now, you the bill host, you the able left na America, you buy building material from China through the Alibaba, then they count and take na your doorstep. We own post office we and a DV. If I tell you something, say the post office, the only important. If you want to play DV, do have another family, anybody want to play DV, una send like una post office. Now the only work that they do now for play DV for people. Just imagine, the old post office, where them for don't sit them, with them for don't use and they make money for distribute mails, for distribute. Now it is not only mails, they distribute orders the way people order all over the world. They make money. In Ghana, then part they allow you see how many money them post they make. In fact, the post office then even engage into banking now. Take the we own post office in that country, they for play DV for people. You know a bugger zone. You go to Nigeria, they able to take Uber, telling us that this zone here. When last week then go with Google Map in that country. Can you imagine? But then just keep Sierra Leoneans on the wrong discussion. We do 1 year, some months ago, so we still talk about election. Don't go now be on our backard and don't move on. We still talk on election. We still on the tripartite. Well, other countries move. I don't know if I don't sit down if I want buy building mat, affordable sit down I buy the motor. See one fine light one in my house. I buy na China the order and they go to antenna my house. Then they happen in Europe. Then they happen most of the African countries. They go Uganda, they go Nigeria, they go most of them down to the Ghana, Gambia. They developed and we right now. We sit down today where this government can talk about tripartite. Where the other government can talk about corruption. We just don't move. We not get anything. Institutions in that country they don't die. Nobody they talk about her. I talked something the last time. I come up with that the last time. I talk and say today. Nobody not talk about them. Past Mr. Shyllon we able to talk about her. But now they left because the authority now listen to them. We are put to get on for at least for the manager they make. Then they sell them. That post office where they right now they play DV one lie be later like if you then give see company a community we can privatize it. They go sell and they turn out to juice factory. Now that they don't put you're not able to talk. They just put whoever they want. So it really frustrating. When Mr. Jamori, I hope all these bright ideas I hope one day we will reach there. And Sierra Leoneans, if the president and people will be very intelligent now, I kind of don't talk to advisors. But not to any kind of full they just take them put in that place, they advise them on how they want. It really frustrating. We get legitimate discussion, we get legitimate thing to talk about. They just tell who say what they want. 1 year something still talk about election. Would I win, would I not win? Would I for rule, would I not for rule? Take it on them. Post office, ordinary post office, for ordinary area code. Yeah, where you talk, if I say 3400, as I talk so somebody don't know it's na burgdorf a day. Ordinary area code never get another account. Not to talk of post office. If you send letter to somebody, believe me, the letter they lost on the way. It really frustrating. Thank you very much, Mr. Jambura. We come up with her. I feel maybe sometimes some intelligent people or intelligent people away the few $100 left could listen to you. Thank you very much.
Omar, before you go, yes, they're not going to call me for be advice. I'm not a member of the cabal.
Exactly, sir. That's what
They sabi me. They all want to talk to them, they listen. They're going to say, this boy is not a change.
Okay, Mr. Jamboria, I don't know if you want to address some of the issues, because we're almost out of time. Some of the issues that we want to talk about, we're not even
because it's a very important issue.
Well, no, but we're not going to get enough time for address them. Now the problem
now we just do an introduction, then we can continue in the next sector, maybe next week.
Well, okay, let me just comment briefly about some of the things where you say, about some of the things where Fode Mustafa say, and some of the things where Umar say. Oh, the talk about enforcement, for those see the lawlessness of a country and how, come Mr. Mustafa say, the government itself, now they engage primarily into the breaking the laws. At the example, they're not getting no regard for the law. Charles Magai going to court, the distinguished lawyer in Sierra Leone, and he's distinguished in many ways. longevity in terms of legal profession, knowledge of the law. I mean, by any stretch of the imagination, I think I get the highest regard for Charles Magai. When this election in June last year came up, it challenged the legitimacy of the appointment of Mohammed Kone, as electoral commissioner. He went to court. He said he lacked the requisite qualification. He pointed, I think, 2 or 3 elements them that he should have met that Kone did not meet. Somehow, decisions were delayed by the courts. And in fact, I'm not blaming the court because Mr. Suma pointed out certain things where he said now the limitations down there on the power of the courts, what is security of the judges then they in the hands of the court, what the promotion of the judges then they in the hands of the court, when the power to terminate the service of the judge they in the hands of the president. He say we are asking the judges for assume that boldness they for give decisions where the circumstance not permits. So I can understand. But Charles Magai raised certain issue in a country where there is law and order. Kone should have been disqualified. But somehow he was allowed to go on. And then Mr. Abdul from Philadelphia raised an issue about independence of some of the offices if we want to democracy for thrive. The office of the Chief Justice, the office of the Inspector General, the office of the Chief of Police, the office of the Electoral Commissioner, among others. Yes, there may be a mechanism whereby the president can have the power to appoint under certain conditions subject to confirmation by an independent parliament. But once this person has been appointed, the president or no politician should have the power for terminate that person there or force him into leave. That person therefore be given in full range of exercising to the best of his discretion and ability the power of in office. And I might add, their offices and they also, then people they forget guarantee if an elected Inspector General is appointed for a term of 10 years. Cannot be sacked, cannot be terminated, cannot be fired, cannot be transferred, cannot be forced into leave. If we want to independence for thrive. So that person they go exercise in discretion, in authority, without abusing it, without fear or favor. Unless we begin for set up situation like that, or you forget for listen to what ideas are coming from APC, SLPP, or any other politician. If they are not talking about the issues here, they are not serious. If all they are talking about is the abstract issue of peace, when there is no actual evidence of chaos, uproar, it makes you wonder how serious are these people. With the talk of peace, when there is no discord, there is no violence, there is no such thing in the country, but people they use this deceptive language about peace, But what would they talk about the tripartite? This is the thing that we would talk about again. The tripartite, if they're serious, then try for strengthening our political institutions. Therefore, try for make them place in the office of the Inspector General, office of the Chief of Police. The Chief of Police has become a political water carrier for the government of the day. Like I say earlier in my example, if you grab today, you say, oh, President Bio in here caught, or President Bio in here don't grow too much, you forgot him. Now, plabada and trouble you get so. Chief of Police will call you in. and begin questioning, what do you mean by that? You never said about the president. This are so childish. This not demonstrate seriousness on the part of the government. It just, I mean, and then when we get people like the American ambassador on it and sit engineer, they admonish, we leaders them for say, listen, what are you people doing? This is child's play. Come on, you will get serious issues for discuss. Not about somebody did and send a response and tweets to a president when they go arrest him, seize his telephone, embarrass him, abuse him. These are some of the issues, and APC is very mum about the whole thing. Omar talked about the airport, and I think somebody else talked about it. Let me give you an example, because I'm a prime example. So what do Omar think about advancement? What it take place now? Now Sweden or so say we had these privileges in the midst of, this was the interior, Kalau district, Upper Bambara Chiefdom. There was a post office, and there were post offices all over the country. Me papa the order clothes, shirts, shoes, socks from Lansfield, from Leonard Cut, all the way in England, from Pendembu.
Yeah.
Those things leave stores in England. It come all the way in na Pendembu post office. When I talk about Kenema or Bo or Freetown, it come all the way with the order. People go to the post office every day in those small towns. We had those privileges. For the big towns there like Freetown, like Bo, the post office Umar, much to your surprise, because I don't know how old you are, but I think say a big pass you a little bit, maybe a whole lot. But for them big town, then the post office, then they do banking with the save money in the post office.
Exactly.
So post office. Then they do more than just mailing. Let me tell you the practical.
And they get postman, they go house to house for go deliver mail.
Deliver mail house to house. Houses were numbered. Now Sierra Leone, we're winner with the very few African countries where hosts then get number. Sierra Leone, winner with the very few. People in the corner you host. Number 1, Hanger Road. Number 15, Kenema Highway or whatever. The mailman, they go deliver you mail. We had all of those. The problem is, since when then Saka Stephen get rid of what? Number 1, I challenge any current minister, any, who could tell me say in a lifetime in Sierra Leone, including the president, if he ever received a mail through postal service in Sierra Leone. Never. Not one of them. I can challenge any one of them. Then they show evidence of the ever received mail in Sierra Leone from Freetown to Kenema, from Kenema to Bo. So they were not exposed to this. So then say what you know, miss them. So these guys, we ask them maybe too much. They don't meet much, so they don't know much. But these things existed before people like President Bio didn't get sense. Then privileges had and then in Sierra Leone. And I don't think they will try to bring back, but go appoint people that will not get ideas about the past. When paper, qualification paper book no more than land, they not get any experience for back then. When they put in committees for the future. So some of the engineer where you mentioned, so Umar, where we get them? Yeah, you talk about the airport in Kenema. We talk about the airport in Bo. We don't bring that point there up. We used to have internal air flights or airlines from Hastings to Bo, from Bo to Kenema, from Kenema to Yengema, from Yengema up north somewhere. There were airports. We're playing then they fly. What did become of the airports then? For just show you how backward some of them were ministers here than be. People that with degrees.
Mr. Shyllon.
Then turn the airport them. They not improve. Then turn the airport then, like
Mr.
you said,
Shyllon.
and begin to them for bill hosts, houses them.
Mr.
Yes, sir,
Shyllon.
go ahead.
The recently dismissed infrastructure officer of Julius Maada Bio, Dr. Tambi, Now be one of the pilots that will be they run that internal flight, then try lander. I am telling you because I know him, he knows me, and we know when he was taking off from Hastings, then they can refuel na Lunge and voting self. Dr. John Tambi was a pilot for Sierra Leone Airlines. And then they run their internal flights, then they then try land a plane. So not that you will go foul. The president knew about it. He was a young officer at Lunge. Those flights were still running.
Yeah. Yeah, well, but again, these are some of the points that we need to make. So some of them things we know in advance, some we see like progress. We once had them. It's a matter of returning to them, but we can return to them where some of them think they want their way they're in the position of leadership. You know, you take like the chief minister of today. He's in his 30s. By we own way of talking, that's small bubble. Yeah, he learned book. He go good university. But he can't relate because he was just a child. To some of them days there, what would they talk about? So you don't meet them, you don't get sense meet them. So you don't know about their existence. It sounds like another country they talk about. That doesn't say this is generational because you get older guys then like Abbas Bundu, who even old past me, who claim on paper saying young past me. Okay, wait for no better. Then they play the same game. So with that said, again, would I even pass with 2 hour time limit? This is what I was worried about. So Mr. Jambore, I get for beg you, please we want for me to come back because these are sensitive issues such as we want to deal with the tripartite as it happened on the 19th of June, which they say, which they not say, where then seem for extend the time, and let me just analyze the reason. We want to talk about the $412 million gas plant where all of a sudden America is saying they want to build in our country, where we would not get all this electricity problem all these years. They not be if they be offer and say it was not that well pronounced. We want to talk about the and then how they intend for distribute the energy and which difference it will make between now the ship at sea, what they sell we're going to look for the same formula they want for use. We want to talk about the MCC compact, where we want for give grant free $400 and some million, but then give conditions say the tripartite mandate has the mandates have to be met, and one of which was the disaggregated result of the bringing up or the announcing or the showing of that aggregated results. The way we see say that condition they might seem too steep for the current government. Then all of a sudden we see this gas plant. Well, we don't even know if this is another way of the America themselves. When they talk about tripartite, they undermine the tripartite itself. When they now the court say, then we'll do a $412 million gas plant for electricity, and the MCC compact now be grant over 400 million a giveaway when I want for give it. But with president now willingly, they go for the 412. They don't even commission the institution of that. When a debt, on a private company or so we can run them on the same formula where we go to pay for. So I don't go to pay for that. We go to not for saying they can give it that free. And then America, they underwrite, they guarantee the insurance aspect of it. So in case the private company where they can't bill them, and where probably they can't run them, if there is a chaos in the country, America they guarantee that companies they say we go pay una whatever losses una undergo. But then they with na debts, where we go get for pay as opposed to the tripartite, as opposed to the MCC compact, when a free money over 400 million. But with President Joe for the 412, we go entangle we and all that cost that insurance cost they go be part of the overall cost. That guarantee they for in case of any ola, America go pay all I needed in the package as to almost this gas electrical plant go cost we. Will president go for that as opposed to the MCC compact when are free? So we won't get into all of that. We want to analyze that. We want to see what in all that mean. We also get one thing we want to talk about an American plane, military plane, just landed na Lunge Airport. And then the American ambassador say, oh, na refueling. The minister, the State House commissioner, communicator director say, na technical stopover, that's what you describe it. But some of we know say, any technical stopover, one and a refueling, said by the ambassador, well, we'll get Robertsville Airport, near Sierra Leone, where you get all, get more contact and more relationship with America. They not go Robertsville, then kind of Sierra Leone, unannounced, except to a government. So we want to touch on that. Which in all
Shyllon.
imply. One quick second. Then there is also, we want to talk about also where President Bill go Russia, then all of a sudden President Putin, and they talk for building a nuclear plant in our country, whether that would be good or bad, whether not the reaction and the America they make, but we'll not get time for that anymore. With that said, that's all I have to say. Mr. Jambora is going to say something. We don't reach the point, or don't reach the closer for sure. Thank you. Go ahead, Mr. Jambora.
It will be expedient to deal with this plane issue. We get rid of them today.
Except that,
yes,
okay.
We have been told it's a technical landing. As far as I'm concerned, refueling is not part of the technical issue because any plane where they left an airport then gets a structured mapping for in flight, they know almost fuel it gets, they know who's in need for go take fuel. And as a matter of fact, US Air Force planes them, where they fly, if in a high security plane, then they refuel them on the air. Yes, they have tanker planes that do refueling on the air. Even Air Force One, it can fly continuously, then go they refuel them on the air. Except for other reasons, they go make it land. So the American ambassador give his own explanation. The head of the media communication give their own explanation. But for some of us who had worked a little bit in the airline industry, we still have questions to be answered. But we're not all business for go interfere in them questions there. The only thing I go link up with is that he who pays the piper calls the tune. That will be the last word on this issue for next week. But now not talk about, if we talk about the plane safe, let just be a reference. He who pays the piper calls the tune. The gas plant versus the nuclear power plant. Why is America now giving money far more above MCC to Sierra Leone? Because not only the gas plant, another American group, what they call Global Fund, we don't see, they don't go present a check in a state house for about $100 and some million for some agro projects. He who pays the piper calls the tune. So there will be a first lady say, Big Brother, no, they allow it. Now Big Brother, they come in. strategically. We'll go discuss that next week.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jamboria. Your presence, as I always say, and I'm just not saying it lightly, there is a lot to learn from you, and we're always grateful to have you on board and to broaden our horizon of knowledge. And we thank you so much, sir, and hope we will continue this. Then topics that I will touch on, we'll not able to reach, we'll not able to elaborate on next Sunday. And maybe in the midst of all of that, other shows they might even discuss it, but that not go preempt we from discussing it. So with that said,
We have
thank you.
our own angle that will look at it.
Good. Because some of the issues here, we can't talk about them enough on one particular show. So I'm not bothered. Any issue, we can deal with it over and over from different perspectives. So with that, I tell you a lot of thanks. I know it's late hours now in Norway, but thank you so much, sir, as always. And thank you, audience, for listening to us. Hopefully, we will see Una or Yeri from Una next week. Thank you. Goodbye, good night, good morning to everyone.